We all have a place in our hearts we call home. It may be where we grew up or moved to later in life. But home is more than just habitat. It's a place of friendship, caring, good memories. And it has a future as well. In Canby, all the traditional elements remain. Close families, friendly neighborhoods, clean living. It's a town where people are important, and big city problems are unheard of. It's a place which preserved the pioneer spirit and updated it for today.
That's the joy of living in a small community. You have a chance to have people come and take care of you that you know and that you can work with because you know them so well.
You really have this feeling of safety, and you really can feel at ease when your kids are out playing in the neighborhood.
I found that Canby is, like I mentioned before, is somewhat in a unique geographical setting in this state, and people naturally drive and come to this community for various services.
It seems like there's always something to do for us outdoors, and the changes that we experience through the seasons are really beautiful. There's a picture postcard look to the community as you come down Main Street, but it's really what's behind the scenes that makes it such a great place to live and work.
Hello, here's where I live.
Canby's beginnings are not unlike other small towns of the Midwest. Enterprising pioneers accepted the challenge of the unknown by forging the prairie landscapes into roads and buildings. Following 1872, the lone cabin of John Swenson was quickly accompanied by other enterprises. Later, with the help of the railroad, the city of Canby became a vital link of commerce to the rest of the quickly changing region. Today, Canby blooms in the heartland, and because of its people, it continues to grow.
Another attribute for Canby is the fine medical facilities and personnel we have. You know, sometimes it really scares me to think that we could be living in a town in which if I had an emergency with my kids, I would have to drive 30 miles to get help. And here, we don't have that fear, and the quality of care is excellent. I don't think that most towns our size, and even many towns larger than us, could begin to compare with the quality medical care that we have.
One of the things that's been unique about the way we deliver services here is that we've been able to bring a number of services into the community that otherwise people would have to travel to get. And that's really the idea of what we're doing with the healthcare system here, is to get it out to the people and make it available. And that's really what's happening in healthcare across the country. And I think that our community and our state have really been ahead of the pack that way in identifying what the real issues are of healthcare.
Although this is a small community, I think that the school is very progressive. The teachers here I found to be just super, and there's a lot to offer for all ages. There are early childhood programs that range from baby classes on up, of course, through senior high school. There's also a vocational technical college here also. So I guess you could say that education is really important in this community.
One of the big community events is when school starts every year. They have a back-to-school bash, which is a carnival where kids of all ages play together, and they have prizes and families come out. And it's basically a community picnic. It's just great to be able to go out and see your neighbors and your kids play with other kids.
We have lots of parks in the community, so many people can go for picnics wherever. We have a lot of people that stop because of the Highway 75 going north and south. And you see a lot of them that stop either in the park in the Central Park, or they go out to the swimming pool and go out in that area. Canby's just now beginning to enjoy their history, and the people here are beginning to appreciate it. And I think this is one of the reasons why now it's becoming so successful with the antique emporiums uptown.
If you're looking for deals when it comes to antiques, rural areas are the way to go. We now have about 4 antique stores in town. There's some work being done on some bed and breakfasts in town. We have a museum in town, which is in one of the fanciest old houses in town.
Perhaps the most notable site which brings people to Canby is the Lunhole Mansion, now called the Mecca Museum. Built in 1891, it symbolizes the community's close ties to its heritage.
As people entered the Lunhole house, they would have rung the front doorbell. They'd walk on into the main parlor. As Mrs. Lund added onto the house, you'll find many areas where there are just odd little corners and stuff. She did not worry about finishing things. So coming up, Mrs. Lund just took the stairwell in this room out, and there you see a door with no access. I call it the mystery door when I take my 3rd grade students through the house, because it's a mystery as to how anybody would have gotten up and down here. Mrs. Lund added the bay window, the balcony, and the tower above to make this into a large enough room so John Lund, the landowner, could have had a billiard room in here, and this is where he entertained his friends playing pool. Something else of interest in this room is the clawfoot glass-balled table with the whole family Bible with all of the inscriptions of the family weddings and births and deaths of the family.
As a whole, the community will greet you with open arms. We've had new neighbors move into our neighborhood from a distance, and they're a part of our group. They're a part of our neighborhood, and it's almost like they've been here forever and they've only been here a year.
The thing that brought us, or made us decide on Canby, was that when we came into town, we noticed that the yards seemed to be a little better kept. People tended to take care of their houses better. Canby seemed to be a real clean town, people that like their community and were willing to take care of their properties.
And I find that people don't resent the fact that you've been in a big community. Matter of fact, they say, how come you come back here? I said, well, I came back here because I like people like you. That's why I come back here and enjoy being around small groups, family groups, and it's a great feeling.
As a newcomer to Canby, I think one of the things that impressed me the most is the support that the community has, not only for academics in schools, but the sporting events. There will be as many people at a away athletic activity than there is for a home one. It's a big support. There's a great history within Canby.
I think that in a smaller community there's this strong feeling of family.
You really have this feeling of safety, and you really can feel at ease when your kids are out playing in the neighborhood. You know, you don't even think about some of these things that can happen because neighbors are watching neighbors, and you know, it's just a great feeling to have that security.
A lot of people would think that you would have to go out of town to find the things that you would need, or that you could get them at a better price. And I found a lot of times the opposite is true in Canby. Our business people will go out of their way to get you what you want and at a price you can afford. I've had so many good experiences with them. Several times I've gone out of town looking for that one special thing and haven't looked here first. and haven't been able to find it out of town. Came back, walked into the store, and there it was. And it was like an awakening. Look here first.
I think for any of the smaller communities in the rural area to survive, progress, grow, there has to be a transformation, so to speak, of the leadership and the professions and business of each community. Canby is very, very fortunate that we have younger people that are set to take over some of the businesses in town.
Canby has a development group specifically looking at economic development, not only bringing in new businesses, but maintaining and strengthening businesses that are already here. I think if I were to visit with businesses about relocating to Canby, I think the most important aspect that Canby has to offer is a work ethic of the employee group or residents that is available, the dedication that they show, along with the support, not only financial support, but the general support of Canby.
Even though we're located in southwestern Minnesota, Schott Corporation has a diversity of product going out to the international community of business, so that we at the rural levels in Minnesota can get to and work with all of the major corporations and businesses in the country. Everything from offshore to whatever the requirements are and asked of us, so that we can supply all of this product at a quality product on an on-time delivery status.
It really is a wonderful place to raise a family. You get to experience the seasons, and it's a very vast and open part of the country, very beautiful in its own right, but you really do experience the full 4 seasons here in Canby.
We have all kinds of different recreation available to us. We have arts that are close by. We have different cultural types, diversity that we can experience if we so wish. And I think that's probably the most important thing to us, is that we're not confined to one particular type of thing.
I don't think a lot of people realize how many things there are to do in a small town. I mean, depending on what season it is, there's various things, activities you can partake in. And anything from sporting events to cross-country skiing in the winter, water skiing out at one of the lakes here, or just hiking, or even there's a lot of hunting in this area too. It's rare to find a moment where you can't find something to do.
The thoughts and feelings from the diverse people of Canby reveal a common bond: quality of life.
It's just a wonderful place to live. I love the people, I love the community, I like the environment.
Whether you're here for a day or a lifetime, Canby has much to offer in its countryside charm, the 4 seasons, the people.
The people in Canby are trustworthy. You shake hands, you made a deal. And that's the other thing I liked about when I thought about coming out here to Canby. Friendly, you walk down the street, you talk to everybody.
It's just a very safe place to live, and that's really a comfort.
It's found in its community, its attractions, the neighborhood, business, year-round activities, and together, it all spells Canby.